All right, this lesson is going to show you how to make these little kirigami. Kirigami is like origami, but origami is just folding. Kirigami is cutting and folding. We're going to be making paper trees. So let me slide these out of the way. You'll need a piece of paper. I use computer paper because it's thin and it's easy to fold. So what you're going to need to do is take your rectangle and make it into a square. I do this simply by taking the bottom corner and I put my finger at the top corner. This edge is going to line up with the top. So you just very carefully take your paper and fold it, lining it up. And then once you get it lined up, make that nice crease. We're going to be cutting off this extra little bit. So I just take my scissors and cut. So now we have a square piece of paper with a diagonal fold line. Make the lighting a little bit different. There we go. You have a diagonal fold in one direction. We need to make another diagonal fold in the opposite direction. So we're going to make it go corner to corner. All right, so now if you open it up, you have an X on your paper. This is a pretty important step, so you need to take your paper over and flip it so that it pops up like a pyramid. That means your folds are on the top. Now we're going to make two more folds. We're going to make a fold down the center, both directions. So first one, I'm going to fold my paper in half. Open it up and fold it in half the other way. Remember, this is a video. You get to pause and play as you need. And open it up. So now I have my X with my folds pointing up and my T with my folds are pointing down. So I like to take the corners of my X, whatever two corners are opposite from each other. I put my middle finger underneath the fold and I take my pointer and my thumb on either side to give it a little bit of a pinch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to very slowly bring my hands together. And as I'm doing this, my paper is collapsing into a square shape. And I just flatten it out. So I'm going to do that one more time. I put my middle finger underneath one of the corners and I pinch on both sides. Put my middle finger on the opposite corner and pinch them on both sides. Bring them together until they meet in the center, and then I gently flatten my paper down. So the open side is pointing at me and the folded side is the top of my tree. So I want to take one of my layers. You notice there's two on either side. So I'm going to take one of my layers and I'm going to fold this edge to meet the center. Just like that. And I'm going to give it a nice crease. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Giving it a nice crease. Should have something that looks like this. And then flip it over and repeat. All right. Now I'm going to be taking my scissors and cutting away this triangle shape right along that straight line. And get rid of those. Now I should have a triangle that has a tree trunk down the middle. You notice there's a couple of layers. There's two on that side and there's two layers on this side. So now we're going to cut some branches. The trick is to not cut all the way to the tree trunk. So you're going to take your scissors and you're going to make a cut and you're going to stop about that far away from the tree trunk. You can make a few cuts on both sides of your tree. Try to line your cut marks up. The last thing is to fold the branches. So each little branch, I'm only folding through one layer at a time. I'm going to fold the top corner down. And then I'm going to do that to every branch. I'm just folding the top corner down. You see it makes it a little triangle. Do that to every branch on both sides of your tree, front and back. So I just turn my tree over so I can fold it easier. And then I have to flip my tree over to do the same thing to the other side. Then you just fiddle with it and get it to where your tree can stand up just by unfolding the pieces, the 4 branches, spreading them out. Just fiddle with it a little bit and it should stand up on your table. Looks like this on the side view, but they do stand up and you can make a whole forest. That's how you make the Kirigami tree.